Happy Tuesday! The story this week is, not gonna lie, a tiny bit embarrassing on my part, but I think it'll make you laugh. It was a death omen, misperceived. So about 2 months ago, I was coming home from an event, and I live in a really congested area in downtown Toronto. So instead of like having the Uber driver drive through the traffic, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna get out, I'll get some fresh air, move my legs, and walk. So as I'm walking, I have my head down and I'm texting Anthony, and all of a sudden I feel freaking claws in the back of my head, and I whip around and freak out, and it's a crow, a freaking crow going, like, I can't even do the crow voice, at me. I lost it. And in symbolism and spirituality, crow means death or bad luck. So I am absolutely losing it, because usually it's when you see a crow that it means bad luck or death. So if it frickin' lands on your head, does that mean you're gonna die today, or everyone you love is gonna die, or you're gonna have bad luck forever? Like, I was losing it. I truly went home, like showered, washed my hair 4 times, sage, and like sat with crystals on my head for hours. And I know I'm crazy, but I was so horrified and upset and honestly terrified. And I proceeded to go to the cottage a lot of the time by myself for the last month. And honestly, every time I would see a crow fly by the cottage, I'd be like, oh, you just go away. Like, I'm so upset about it. And, you know, I slowly let it go a little bit, but I'm not going to lie, it was still really getting to me. And a few days before I came home, I'm back in Toronto now after a month, and my sister-in-law sends an article to our family group chat, and without knowing the story at all, like, she had no idea this happened to me, and it says, red-winged blackbird attacking people in the area that I got attacked in to protect their young. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I only saw it dead on. It wasn't a crow, it was a red-winged blackbird. And I'm like, phew, but also couldn't run to the computer fast enough to Google the spiritual meaning of a red-winged blackbird. And you need to hear it. Oh, you need to hear it. In animal symbolism, seeing a red-winged blackbird means you are strongly manifesting and need to draw from your inner beautiful self. Do not fear, because you will soon be put in crowds. You will show your confidence and exhibit courage by showcasing your gifted talents and abilities. I mean, come the frick on. That is what it meant the whole time. So anyways, you know, I know that, you know, some of you watching this might be like, I'm very spiritual and woo, but I take so to heart signs and symbols from the universe. Signs, symbols, messages, wherever you're going to send me, I'm going to take it to heart. And so, you know, having my sister-in-law send this text message without even knowing the story, I feel like was a deliverance from the universe for me to see this article. And once I had my relief, I realized, okay, A, this is hilarious and a tiny bit embarrassing that I'm going to make a video about it. But also, it made me realize, like, in day-to-day life, that we need shifts in perception all the time. So for myself, it was a death omen. But, you know, it can be a conversation with someone where you took what they said the wrong way, and you make up this crazy story in your head about, you know, that they don't like you anymore, they don't think you can do your job, or that your husband doesn't find you sexy, or whatever the thing is, your wheels are turning, and we all know what that feels like. And this is my challenge to you this week, is to stop and actually get like a full picture of the perception of what was said or what action happened to you. So one way to do that is to say, hey, when you did this or said this, it made me feel like this, you know? And often the person will be like, oh my gosh, no, you're crazy. That's not what I meant. This is what I meant. Like, we're totally all good. And if you did perceive it the right way, then it gives you an opportunity to communicate with the person and resolve it. So I just, as much as it's a silly like example in terms of a death omen from a crow to really communicating properly with the people you love, it's really the same thing, because I misperceived what kind of bird it was, and honestly was torturing myself for a month. And we do this all the time, myself included, with misperceiving what people are thinking, saying, or doing. So my challenge to you this week is to hit misperceptions dead on and not live in fear of the death omen from a crow. Happy Tuesday. I will see you next week for story time.